All right. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are on this awesome planet. Welcome to the Inner Circle Live Asian session. I'm your host for tonight's session, Benny Allen, along with my awesome partner, Mr. Ryan Carthage. And we're definitely happy and grateful for all of you being here with us this evening as we take a look at the fundamentals. It was a busy day, and we take a look at the technicals to see what we could take advantage of in the Forex market. So without further ado, let's make sure that we turn off any and all distractions, grab a pen and paper, take lots and lots of notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage. And right out the gate, if everybody can hear me loud and clear, please drop me a 1 in the chat. Let me know that you all are ready to go. Ready, fired up. All right. Thank you so much, Terrence. I see you came through first. Jeremy. All right. Appreciate it, everybody. Thank you so much for that early participation. Let me make sure that everybody has control of their microphones. Hey, we just asked that out of respect for everyone else. If you're not asking a question or making a comment, please keep those microphones muted to the best of your ability. So with that being said, let's check out and let's talk about what's going on, right? What happened today? So we had the FOMC come out. We had CPI come through, first of all, early in the morning for the pound, came through at 10.7. So just slightly off of what was forecasted. But the big news of the day came through, right? FOMC projections, FOMC statement, federal funds rate, and the press conference. So we were expecting, right? 0.5%, that's what we got, right? So we moved to 4.5% for the federal funds rate. That's what everybody was expecting. It came in right on target. But what always is the most important thing is that a lot of that rate hike was already priced in. We knew it was coming. So what do things look like going forward? So we were talking about it last night, how the latest CPI report came through soft, right? So that would make for the second consecutive, right? I think it was, maybe it's 3, but at least 2 consecutive CPI reports that said, hey, those rapid interest rate hikes, those aggressive hikes are starting to come through, and we're seeing it, and the CPI is starting to come down. So inflation starting to come down just a little bit. And then we talked about last night how we had some investors saying, you know what, the September dot plot from the Fed came through at 4.6. right, for the rates ending 2023. And because of the consecutive CPI reports showing that the inflation rate is coming down a little bit, some investors started to even say that the Fed will, even next year in 2023, could pause rates or even cut rates. And you had some speculation and predictions out there that the forecast that they can even end up at 4.3% by the end of 2023, as opposed to the 4.6% that came off the September dot plot. But as they say, never bet against the Fed, right? We talked about last night how Jerome Powell had been warning the markets to not get too overconfident about everything that's going on. And today he came through and said, right now, based on the data that they're seeing, their forecast for rates is 5.1%. Okay. And even though they may be looking to take smaller rate hikes to get to that number moving forward, I think the next meeting is in February, that is probably going to start rate or probably hold for quite some time. All right. So we saw the markets cool off a little bit today as a result of what Jerome Powell had to say. All right. They also are forecasting GDP growth for 2023 to come through at 0.5%, which is lower than was originally forecast. The original forecast is at 1.2%. So they're looking at GDP to slow down. They look at unemployment rising at 2023 to 4.6%. Right now, unemployment in the United States is around 3.7. All right. So he completely kind of crushed the expectations that the Fed will be likely to pause rates or even cut rates going into 2023. His quote was, "We think that we'll have to maintain a restrictive stance of policy for some time." All right. So I tend to go with what the Fed is saying, and everything else is entertainment. If everybody understands that, please drop me a 1 in the chat. It's what the Fed says that matters. All right, it's fun. It's fun to listen to all this stuff, the back and forth, the banter between all of these pundits. But at the end of the day, the Fed is going to have the final word, and that's exactly what happened today. So when we look at the breakdown in inflation, you know, inflation relative to goods coming down, housing still up. We talked about that yesterday, but he said there are some signs that that's going to start to correct itself. The main thing, the stickiest part with this inflation is jobs and wages, which account for about 55% of PCE. So that is the challenge right now, is wages. We're not feeling that pain yet. You haven't seen a ton of layoffs, but you know, people kept throwing 50 million hypotheticals at them, which I find is weird when everybody knows they're going to be data dependent and data driven going forward, right? So they're not going to go too deep into predicting the future beyond their numbers that they're already forecasting, right? So, but you know, he it's just the jobs. We still have here in the United States a lot of job openings that haven't been filled. So a lot of the feedback that he said he was getting from companies across the United States is that they're not necessarily, they're trying to hold on to the employees that they have. So he looked at that as being a positive sign to where we may not get those massive layoffs, but he does feel like that is going to come because the wages being up, and we have a very strong jobs market right now. So that's gonna have to change, right? And so he's hoping, right, that we can still have, you know, somewhat of a soft landing. But one of the main things that he said towards the end, and I think that was the most important as we move forward, is the head of the Federal Reserve, when he was asked the question, you know, are we going to go into a recession? And if we are going to go into a recession, you know, how long and how deep of a recession? And he flat out told the reporter, everything is going to be data dependent. There's no way of knowing that based on the numbers that we're seeing right now. And for anybody to speculate that we are going to go into a recession or we're not, there's no way to know, right? So we're going to continue to see that come up in articles and reports, and people keep talking about the recession word, but right now, he said it. There's no way. There's no way to know that. You know, looking at the possibility of smaller rate hikes, like I said, going forward, like maybe smaller, but he said again, that's going to be very data dependent. All right, so that's where we are. Any questions on that? Kim, yes, housing. It does need to come down a bit. I agree 100%. It is a big issue. All right, so we're good. Okay, so busy day. A lot to take in. Right, if you want to hear what he had to say, right, you can go to YouTube, check it out. But it was a pretty good press conference today. So that's where we are. Australia, right? Employment change came through. Look at that. Forecast of 19.4, came in at 64. All right, 64K. Wow. So that's pretty good for the Australian dollar. Unemployment rate maintained, right? Maintained itself. So let's take a look at trading economics. Of course, that's front page. Jobless rate stays at a 3-month low, right? So that kind of plays into what Powell was saying here in the United States, right? The jobs market. All right, the jobs market. New Zealand GDP expands more than expected. We know we've had a strong New Zealand dollar. All right, so some interesting things going on around here globally. So let me go over, take a look at the dollar index. We'll look at it from a daily level to see what happened today, and we're pretty much still just hovering right at that level. Okay, coming into the Asian session, right? We're getting a little bullish momentum off of there, but the 50 basis points was expected today, and we're looking like we're trying to find some support. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how it goes with the dollar and what's going on. We're in decent shape, and I understand that's relative, right, to people's lives, right? But overall, from the numbers, we're in decent shape compared to a lot of other countries in their inflation battles. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with the dollar. See if we find some support at this level and start to push up, maybe just to retest, right? These daily levels here. Any questions on the US dollar?
No.
No? All right. Appreciate it. Let me look. I didn't look ahead though, because I know we've got tomorrow, another busy day, right? Swiss National Bank, they have their monetary policy statement, press conference, going to be important. Same thing with the UK. That's going to be quite interesting. And with the ECB, especially as we move deeper into the winter, and then the press conference is at 8:45. So it is going to be a busy morning tomorrow. And then we've got I thought we do have resale sales coming month over month for the UK, but I thought we had it for no, we've got PMI, German flash manufacturing PMI. So those are all going to be important as we try to look at inflation globally. So busy days, busy week, like we talked about coming out of the ritual. So that's that there. Let's hold on 1 second. We have other people join us. Welcome. And okay, I think we are all set to go. Ryan, good evening, sir. How are you?
Bro, I'm doing well, man. Doing well. Glad to be here. Been a fun day. How are you, man?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Glad you could make it. I know you're out there moving and shaking, making the connections.
Trying to make it happen, man. Trying to make it happen.
Indeed, indeed. So, anything that you want to talk about fundamentally, in regards to what we talked about, or we good? I know you're busy today, so.
I know you covered, what Fed Chair Powell went over, but that's kind of what things are slowing down. So it'd be interesting to see how the data comes out over the next couple months. The next meeting is until February, I believe, right?
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see how the data comes out, and then what assumptions are taken from that leading up to February. So it'll be an interesting start of the year.
Yeah, it will be. And up until that February, these next couple of months, I'm really going to be focused in looking at the UK, the Eurozone, as we move deeper into the winter, and with the war and with the energy issues and inflation, because I feel like we got a pretty clear path with the Fed and what they want to do. But I am, I'm definitely looking to shift my focus into those other currencies to see how they respond, in these winter months with a whole lot of things that are going on. So inflation, war, energy, it's going to be quite interesting. So we shall see.
Very true. Very true.
So let's take a look at some setups. We'll take a look at that. Matter of fact, let's start out with the NZD-JPY that we were looking at this morning on the 5-minute chart, and we can see, right? So just looking at it quickly this morning, we found it right as that trend line was breaking. I had the trend line break, and it kind of did the dance, right? But we've gotten through. We almost look like we almost were trying to get to TP2, but we're hovering around that TP1 level. So that's been a pretty good move. Moving through. So the high point was close to 60 pips. TP1 was around 36 pips. So that was a pretty good move on the NZD-JPY. And I'm thinking that we may have some more upside to that if we can break out from these levels. Okay. So we've been watching this for a little while now, and it's moved completely back up, right, to the top of that range, moving on the daily, and we'll see if we can break out and get long on that. Okay, so it looks like some pairs are making some moves, especially against the yen, except for the Australian dollar. Last time I checked, but that was kind of neutral, bearish to neutral. But I know the EJ, the GJ, we're kind of moving in a positive direction against the yen overall. So we'll continue to keep an eye on this to see, right? So we spotted on the 5, but that may have some more upside momentum to it. We'll have to continue to follow that. But if you took the trade, right, we made it to target 1. It took all day, right? And I didn't know how that was going to move, being that we had important news this afternoon at 2 o'clock, but it made its way. So you can see here, right around that 2 o'clock hour, that we got that moving and shaking going on, right? But it continued along its path, right? So positive for the New Zealand dollar against the yen. And right, that's always could be used as a good gauge for risk on, risk off sentiment. And so being that New Zealand yen is still moving in a positive direction, right? I guess we're still, hey, even though the markets became a little subdued during the meeting, overall, potentially risk on still. Okay, so we'll see moving forward as we look to close out the week here soon, and then moving in through the rest of December into the holidays, how that goes. But that was a pretty good setup. Was anybody able to take Joy, hit your TP? Anybody else able to take that from this morning? Some of those folks may not be on. Nope.
I didn't pull the trigger on that one.
Yeah, and it was one that it was happening so fast we didn't get a chance to kind of caught it there live, so we didn't get a chance to put it in the Telegram. But that picked up pretty good. I am also looking at this. I haven't gotten back. I know that GCAD was a good play, but I haven't looked at that in a while. Uh-oh. Hold on, everybody. What is going on? When your chart's doing this morning, Ryan?
Mine is doing it right now. It did do it earlier today too, yeah. But mine is showing right now too.
My goodness.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out.
Okay. Let me try to reset this thing. See what's going on.
That's how mine is stuck right now.
Really?
Both of my NT4s was acting up earlier, so I have mine connected, so I don't know if that's a possibility.
Mine is doing that too. This is Brandy. I just closed out of it.
Hey, Brandy.
Hey.
Thanks for letting me know that. Huh.
Yeah, me too.
You too? Oh, so we got a breakdown.
Same here, mine too. Mine too.
You too? Oh, this is universal. This is global. This is a global thing. Okay. Is it coming back? Well, this might be a short session, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on 1 second. Let me go over to Trading View.
Mine just popped in.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I opened a new tab, but
There we go.
Yep, mine came back also. This Brandy.
Okay, thanks, Brandy. All right, so let's see if I can
Should
get
be
to the. All right. Let's see what's going on. There we go. All right, so I am looking at. So this is the 4 on this, but I'm watching this closely because I am actually. Let me see on this pound New Zealand. We're getting a bounce. Okay. I was looking at this this move earlier because I think this may have some more downside to it here, and this might just be a pullback, right? So if I get it, I'll look to post it in the chart. So it's pulling back now, but this trend line break. So what I'm looking for now that we've got this low and it's firing off a little bit to the upside, keep an eye on this one because what I want to do is I want to see this turn over, right? Because I want to look short on this this pound New Zealand. But right, we've got this pullback now. But what I'm looking for is to get below this level, right? Get below this level and then look for a retest. Okay, and then a move back down because we got that inner trend line break. But now, right, that we've got this correction and this pullback. So I'm looking for a break and a retest of that level. If I get it, I'll probably post it. It may take some time, move around a little bit, but we'll see. But I have that one on my radar after I got that break here. But right now, since it's pulling back, I like to see it take out this low that's formed on this 15, right? So across this zone like that, right? And then retest that zone and see if we can get some more downside momentum. All right, so that's one. I'll keep an eye on that. Like I said, if it ends up making that type of price action move, then we'll get it posted. But it's pulling back right now. But that might just be a lower high though, and then a continuation on that. So I'll leave that one alone for now. I want to go in. It froze again. All right, so let me see what's going on.
check it out and
there.
see.
Okay. They are killing me. Okay. All right. Well, we ain't gonna deal with that. Let me go back. And I wanted to, I guess I could do it on here because this will be, I guess, pretty cool. But I wanted to show, in fact, this might just work out. Let me get this here on this 5-minute and go to the NZD JPY and Forex. We'll use it off of Wanda. Okay. And this is the 5. I don't want the cloud on here. Okay. So this here, right? If you're trading these setups, this is actually spotted the new fib level on this move today on the NZD JPY. I actually spotted it on the 15 and brought it down to the 5 for entry. Okay, with the new AB boundary. But one of the things this will be good for is because a lot of times you get scared out of the position. But one of the things you can do, okay, where's my ray? Right here. Okay. Give me a minute, everybody. I'm a little bit slower on this trading view. So if we take the ray tool, right, and we start to draw our trend lines, okay, and we start to draw those trend lines and we make this blue and we keep it consistent, okay, on this move that occurred today. Like so. Okay. And we zoom out. And we spotted this morning, it was just breaking the inner trend line. Matter of fact, this is going to be pretty good because you can't do this on Smart Trader. All right. So what I'm going to show you guys is how you can play it aggressively off the trend line, or if we understand how the market moves in waves, you could wait for it to come back to you. So a lot of times when people play it aggressively off the trend line, so say off the trend line break, so say you enter here, you got in off your trend line break. Okay, well, look what happened. It pulled back. So one of the things that when you take aggressive trend line breaks, unless you're in there just trying to get 10 pips, 15 pips or so, kind of like that 2-to-1 off the low, because you put your stop. Let me put another one in here. You get your swing low, and we always say, hey, when you're doing this type of setup, you put your stop below the last swing low prior to the trend line break. Okay, like so. All right. So if you're doing this manually, like if you're trading for user or whatnot too, what you can do is take it aggressively off the inner trend line break, or just wait to see if that trade is going to come back to you, because then you can start playing fib levels. All right, so let me change this to green. All right, give us entry. It's go time off the trend line break. So if we back this up, all right, go to like here, okay, and we'll just go through this price action. All right, like so. Right, so we'll watch price come down, forming the lows. Right, bang. Right, we're starting to get that break. We get into the position. Right, you can see how it carried us to the outer trend line. So if you missed that initial position, that's fine. When you see something like this happens, especially you're playing inner and outer trend lines, and you know it hits this trend line, we're getting this rejection, and you get a swing high to form. Right, see how we got that? Here's our high. Okay, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. We've got an official swing high there now, right? Take your manual fib and just pull it like that. Boom. Right there. Okay. So if you missed that initial move, and our target was way up above, right? As we'll see. Okay, we have price targets mapped out. Can't remember the exact number right now, but you can play it like this, period, because the market moves in waves. Now, will there be times where price just runs and gets impulsive and you don't get that pullback that you're looking for? Yes, but if not, that's okay, right? That's okay. There's always trades around the corner. So we got that new AB boundary. We were looking for, hey, a reaction either off the B boundary or at the 118, 127 zone. Okay, in this case, I remember it was right off that B boundary. Now look how it's pulling back to you, right? So don't worry, because price always likes to take back a percentage, right, of what it gained on this 0 to 100% move, right? So if you didn't get in here, look, it came back and took it back anyway. Okay, so we're using a fib. We're using a fib. So in essence, it broke and it pulled back and it retested that zone, right, that we entered in. Okay, so you would have come back to 0. And I know sometimes people, right, they don't like, hey, I was up and then I was down, right? But hey, if you have a trade idea mapped out, then if you understand that the market moves in waves, right, then it's like, hey, it's going to correct anyway, and then I expect it to move, right? That's why we use stop losses, right? That's why we use stop losses in case we're wrong. But you can see how this came back to us. As long as it doesn't take out the A, it has no choice but to go your way. And then look at what happened with that move, right? See how we stay within our AB boundary? We're still within that AB boundary, right? You got the Fed, right? The Fed meeting that was going on, but look, it still stayed right within that AB boundary. And it's hard sometimes, but you have to think about trading over a series of trades, right? No one trade, right, should make or break you, right? If you're using proper risk management and you understand that, and you understand your edge, right? That my edge is going to play out over a series of trades, not one particular trade. And knowing that, it's like, hey, I've already got my risk figured out. That's why I have my stop where it's at. So I already know when I'm going to lose. So it kind of, even though you never can 100% eliminate emotion, right? When you do it like this, it's kind of just like, well, however it gets to the destination, right? I don't control that. I just care that it gets to it, right? And then I'm protecting my backside, right? How it travels and what it does, all the market forces, we don't control that, right? So you broke your inner, your outer, and your long-term trend line on that. Okay? So you might be, right, more comfortable being that type of trader, saying, hey, I like breaks and pullbacks. Right? So when we went back a couple of weeks ago just to the nuts and bolts and looking at support and resistance and breaks and retests, in essence, that's what this is doing, right? It's just measuring, right, that break and that retest of a zone. Okay. It's all in the numbers. That's right. That's it. It's all in the numbers. And you consistently finding your setup, and it's about how that plays out over a period of time. Right? It's never about one trade, right? And that's where we are. But that's how that trade played out, right? That's one thing I love about this trading view is the replay tool is pretty cool. Right? So that played out in real time. So you look at it from this morning, and that tiny little price action that broke that inner trend line, and then what it led to, right? Because sometimes psychologically in our head, we think, hey, when we get in on a trade, it's just going to go like this, and it's going to be jackpot. Right? All we did was look, we got some education. We understood what we like to look for in the market. We controlled our risk management. Right? And when we saw our setup, we traded it. We didn't control any of this. Right? After we hit that buy or sell button, we don't control any of this. And sometimes that's hard, right? That's hard to understand, right? But that's why we really drive home risk management, right? So you can have it where, you know, we've had folks like, yo, I lost 9 trades in a row. I got to step aside. Well, that's going to happen, right? That's going to happen, right? But where does that come out over 50 trades, 100 trades, right? And that especially can happen if you're trading on the lower time frames or you're scalping, right? If you're scalping and you're taking 20 trades a day, well, if you lose a series of trades in a row, right? That emotionally, if you are a defined scalper, that shouldn't hit you in the gut so much. If it does, then you probably want to work on a different trading style, right? You may want to just become a swing trader, right? But then there's a whole nother emotion that you have to master there too, right? Price moving right in and out of profit. You know, look at what this did, right? Look what it did, right? Even at that spike, like, hey, I'm still within my AV boundary. I'm still moving up. So I did want to cover that tonight. So actually kind of good that we jumped over to trading. Smart trader back up, or is it still just doing the same thing? That might just be a bug that they've got to fix, hopefully overnight.
We are, yes, back on.
Is it back on? Is the switch
back on for the time being? Yep, I'm switching through right now. So for now, we're good.
Okay.
Mine is back on.
Yours is back on?
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate you. Thank you. Because I wanted to go through and okay. So I wanted to look at some of these dollar pairs, right? That's still, right? Especially with that dollar finding support, that's still looking bullish to me. This UCAD, right? Still looking bullish. We'll continue to watch the oil prices and see what's going on, but for the week, right? We're bearish, but overall, right? That's found a low. Past resistance becoming future support. So it's just a matter of that wants to go and push and continue higher. Where are we at? Right. So we tapped into that daily zone at 137.02, and there's that correction that you're seeing for this week. But I wonder, right, if this is going to give us this low and just continue long, right? I wonder if that's going to keep an eye on this one to see if we can get a swing low there. We don't quite have it yet, right? But that may be looking to continue. But we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow when the market opens. All the news happened this afternoon at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So London was closed. So it'll be quite interesting to see what happens when the market's open. Here's the 4. It's just doing a dance. So I'm just looking forward to find a little bit more support on this dollar CAD. But I'm not ready to call that bearish or anything yet. That may still make another move up to retest that 137. So keep an eye on that. Ryan, what are your thoughts on this UCAD? Are you looking to play it, or you been out of it?
I've been out of it. Today made it interesting. I was looking to see if it made more of a move back to the downside.
Yeah.
From the 4-hour perspective, it looks like it's trying to, but it's just pushing sideways. So I'm just sitting out watching right now.
It is, and it's like I said, I'm gonna wait for that to see if we can get a daily swing low to form. It may push up a little bit more on the lower time frames, but I'll rather wait on that because this is just moving sideways. But it's back up. What caught my eye is that it's back up above 135. So this 135.60 level, which was a 4-hour level here. It's gonna be interesting. I want to see if we get what kind of reaction we get as the market opens tomorrow on the US dollar. Dollar Swiss. Yeah. See about that. Right. This is moving to support. We're getting a little bit of a rejection now, but it's moving into that 91.94 level. It's been moving down. Let's yeah. Right. So we're coming into that 118 zone. Weekly support at 91.94. I wonder if this settles in, if we're going to get a correction. We're going to get a correction. So what I would like to see, right? See if we can start to get a low to form here, right? And then back up above that 92.88 and see if it holds. Then we can look 93.66 potentially and just play it level by level. See if we get buyers on the dollar at that weekly level on the DXY. But right now it's moving. It's holding below trend line. This is the 4. Yep.
We got that monetary policy decision on the Swissy coming in at 3:30.
Yes.
So that could be the catalyst for us here, and really on all these Swiss pairs.
True. It's gonna be interesting to see how aggressive they are with that rate hike. It may push it down to support, push it down in that zone, which is fine. This is just kind of no man's land right now. So these dollar pairs is going to be a wait and see to see what we can take advantage of. This is the UJ. Right. So it bears the neutral for the week. Right. I'd love to see it get that support. It's kind of an odd place right now. So here we are on the daily. Yep, all wait and sees. See how the rest of the week plays out. So 4 should be similar. Yeah, let's see what happens. See what happens with the market open on these on a lot of these dollar pairs. I know the odds it should be pretty positive. Let me check it out. Yep, still up on the week. Still sitting in the zone. A little bearish, right? Starting the Asian session. What you think, Ryan? You think it might find, you think that DXY might find support?
So
Kind of shaping up like it.
because it is shaping up kind of like a it pushed just below that support, but whoops, what dollar here. You got kind of a double bottom scenario there, right at that support. So it might, man. I got that previous week daily level at on the chart is 1285.39. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the DXY.
Yeah, you're talking about
So we might get a
PI.
push off the DXY to the upside, which would flip this and move it back to the downside. So
Yeah.
if we're that probably be kind of similar to that 4-hour support at 68.134, right? If we break back below that on the Aussie dollar.
I mean, I see what you're saying here on the 4.
Yeah. Break back above that 1285.
We will see.
Yeah. The reaction in the morning could be pretty volatile with everything happening overnight too.
Yep.
So
yeah. So we'll wait and see. I can't call it right now. It's sitting at some major levels though. That's what always gives me pause, right? Until the market defines whether it wants to break those levels or we're going to get a reaction back to the downside. This is the NZD USD on the daily. Right, with 64.64, we've called that number for a while, right? There's a possible reaction area. That's where we are. So, gotta wait. And then the Euro USD. This is what you want though. You want it to be right precedent to some key levels. Right, ahead of these major rate decisions. Right, so this is long. We're thinking potentially 107. That ought to be interesting. That conference, that press conference from the ECB. So what are we expecting out of hold on, what day is that? That's coming up, right?
ECB, we're looking at
50 basis points.
Yeah.
So it'll be all about the forward guidance from there. Maybe we hit that 107. Where are we at? That 107 will be right at that 127 zone.
Yep.
Okay. So no plays right now on these dollar pairs. Ryan, you got your eye on anything in particular right now? I just wanted to review those dollar pairs for sure tonight ahead of these next rate decisions.
I don't. I'm sitting and waiting on those because all of them, even those pounds, right? They're approaching key levels. So like the pound Aussie is still hovering at that weekly resistance level. That pound CAD is still in the 80-20 zone. And they've been hovering in those areas for quite some time. So I'm sitting and waiting to see what the reaction is. And then I'll make my decision from there. Because all of them are hovering right now. So I'm sitting on my hands just chilling.
I hear you. And I think I am going to do the same. Of course, I'll post it in the Telegram. I know you'll post it in the Telegram if we get something, especially on those lower time frames. We just need that price action to shake free, everybody. We need this gridlock to break at these key levels, right? And that's gonna That's going to come on the heels of these reports. Let me look at this this pound Aussie. No, we still haven't gotten to that extension yet. But it's definitely got back bullish for sure. Right.
And on the daily, you still got the 80-20 scenario just hovering there.
Yep.
I feel it going off the low.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be interesting. What are we expecting out of the UK? We got the market on pause.
Out of the
Let me see.
We're expecting 52 out of the UK.
Yeah.
No,
So
Swiss is expecting 52.
So it's already priced in. So we've got too much coming up for anything to be moving, really.
Yeah.
So what is this,
And
Wednesday
then could
going
there be
into
some
Thursday?
surprises too?
Well, yeah,
You
and
know,
I'm
the
thinking,
U.S. backed off a little bit. Do they back off a little bit,
yeah,
or do they give that in the conference as you said? Right?
yeah. So we're at a standstill right now, everybody. Got a lot of red going on tomorrow. And the uncertainty is there, like Ryan said, especially on the heels of the FOMC policy meeting, right? Does that have any type of impact? And at least the language, it won't play into the rates, but the language of these central bank officials tomorrow. So everything is kind of not doing anything. Does anybody have a particular pair, right? I'm gonna open the floor up for these last few minutes because it's been a good week, a week that I usually relax a little bit. Ryan usually relaxes a little bit in regards to setups because there's so much news and we're at the end of the year. But we've been able to find some good price action setups, put it in the Telegram. So we hope that some of you have been able to take advantage of that in addition to your own trade setups that you might be taking a look at. Any pairs? Everybody else on pause too? All right. Well, let me look at on pause, Ebony. Yeah, that's what it's looking like right now. We got going on. This is the one. Oh, this thing, it gave a good little rally today. Get this out of here. Look at these levels. Hold on now. So we're trying to break through that 1808. Nice little run at it. That's because it went back below that. And that's a weekly level. Then out there. But this is probably going to be the new high. But I don't know, with everything going on tomorrow, that might jump. So we'll see. It's made a nice run on gold. Can't call it with tomorrow, though. Everything that's going on. I didn't watch last night, so I'm in it. Joy. That's it. I do know what happened today, though. That hold on. We did get a tiny little rally on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So I was able to. I know. I was able to pick up on that. So we're getting some.
Let me tell you about the bad eyesight. So I seen the little 5-minute on gold, and I was trying to take it, but when I clicked the tab that's next to my ETH, it hit the ETH instead. But I made 20 cents. But because I seen it coming back, I was like, nah, I ain't about to play with
it. Well, at least you got out. All right. At least you got out, realize that you made a mistake. So good job on that one. Able to come out with some change. I see. It's good. So, oh man, I guess we'll maybe we get a Bitcoin rally. Who knows with everything that's going on? How many crypto traders do we have in the group that's on here tonight? Anybody trade cryptos? Joy? Reese, yep. Kind of I wanted to see this drop lower, but we broke back above that level. All right, well, we'll see how that goes. I have not looked at where are we at? Wow. It looks like I've been missing out. It's a nice rally on silver.
Man.
They get back on my game. I've been asleep at the wheel. Shouldn't have been, knowing that the market's been rallying. It's rallied to a good level too. Had to read up. Have to read up. It's trying to form a high. Well, that's silver. Delve into too much else. So we are good there. On silver, I got to write that one down. That might be a play here in the future. USD. And we'll take a look at crude, and then we're going to wrap this up. We're going to wait for everything to happen tomorrow and get all of these monetary policy meetings out of the way and these rate hikes so we can get back to business.
I'm gonna say, bro,
oil.
for fun, you want to do a markup on a stock for fun?
If I can pull it up, if it'll let me pull it up, what you want to do?
MULN. Mullen Automotive.
Mullen. Okay. All right. I know we were talking about this. Mullen.
Yeah.
This is the sleeper. We've been Ryan giving up the goods. Here we go.
See?
All right. You want to give a backdrop, Ryan?
Backdrop is my brother was at work, and and people in the plant, they talk about all kinds of stuff, and every now and then, my brother, his ears perk up, and he'll say, "Hey, can you check out this stock for me?" I say, "All right, cool, yeah, I'll check it out." The last one was Spotify a couple of years ago before they purchased a ton of podcast shows, and Spotify took off. So he sent me this one a few days ago. He's like, "Ryan, take a look at this," and people were talking about it at work. I don't know if it's anything, but let me know. So Mullen is a automotive company, an EV automotive company. So that's the space that they're in. So I took a look at it and said, we'll see where it comes out at. So did a quick markup on it, top-down analysis, and that's it. So it's interesting. And when he called me and talked to me about it, it was at 19 cents.
Oh. So it's up.
Yeah, it's up. It's up.
All right. Well, let's see what's going on with this thing. What's the low on this? What's the
lows are just below that. Over to the left. Get what it was.
It's gotta be like right around here, right?
Yeah.
So it's coming off the bottom. And hold on one second.
That low is at one. Yeah, that's the low. 19 cents is the low.
19 cents. Okay. Yep. 4. So let me Let me knock this out. 0.19.
Actually, no, I'll take that back. It's 18.
It's close enough.
18
We're
and some change, yeah.
This is
18 and some change. It's all the way
18
down
is a
there.
change.
You
Okay.
got to get down to the 1 minute to really see it.
Oh. All right. So let's put these in here. Oh wow. Okay. See what we're dealing with here. Bang. All right. Let's get down to the weekly. What happened there, but okay. Good old mother. Let's see what's gonna happen. Take this daily. Let's mark these levels up. What in the world? Ryan, this is going to be a banger. This is sitting low. It is 18. My goodness. All right, let's take that down.
It's definitely something interesting to look at.
This is
little. Go ahead.
No, I was thinking out loud. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say on the stock side, there's tons of fundamental research that stock traders do and such, and that's not my MO. But the little Google research that I did do, they've also made some recent hires from some of your major automotive companies, GM and Ford. They brought in some former executives from both of those organizations, 2 or 3 from GM and 1 or 2 from Ford, on the marketing side and on the sales side. So they have some good things going for them from a fundamental perspective.
Okay. All right. I like it.
Yeah, Ebony, it's definitely a rabbit hole to fall into. It's definitely interesting. We see here on the daily time frame, shallow retracement 118, 127 zone.
It's just hanging out too.
All right, it's just hanging out.
And I just took out a high too, man.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. Yep. I wonder if we can get a retest. It does not matter the asset class, the market moves in waves. I always remember that. My mentor told me that. And it's the truth. So this is coming off the floor, off of a double bottom. There. So right there. So we need a check back.
And then if you zoom out and run your fib off the high too.
Mm-hmm.
All the way back at $20.
Yeah, somewhere in here.
That last high over to the left. Yeah.
Yep. Man, talk about a breakout. Dang. Ooh-wee. Okay. It definitely broke out. Your brother was right.
Yeah.
Your brother was right. Your brother was right on that. Did you buy it? Did you buy it that night we talked about it?
I did. I did. Yeah. Yeah. I
So
bought
you're
it
you're already up off the breakout.
I'm already up. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
You can run the fib off the 1 2.
Yeah,
That's
that's exactly what I'm
another
gonna do.
80-20 scenario. And so the purpose of this has been, it continues the process here. Is it doesn't matter the asset class. It doesn't matter the asset class. The process of top-down analysis, the way that we utilize the Fibonacci sequence, support, resistance, and trend lines, the process is exactly the same. It's exactly the same. Doesn't matter. And so literally when I say you can go trade soybeans if you want to, or live cattle, you can do that, utilizing the exact same process. And that's the beauty of the methodology that we teach and why we teach it the way that we do.
We just waiting on the pullback now.
Waiting on the pullback. Brandy, are they coming out with something new? I don't know. There's more. That's why I said there's more research to do. But potential there. All right. And from a risk to reward perspective, relatively minimal.
It's an EV company, right?
EV, yeah.
All right. So let the research begin, everybody.
Let me know what you guys find out, man. I'll do some too. But it was interesting that, like I said, he sends them to him periodically, and the markup process is exactly the same. It's exactly the same. So when we say it doesn't matter the asset class, it doesn't matter the asset class. You see here, even on those smaller waves, 618 retracement, 1618 extension, right? The process is exactly the same. Is exactly the same.
I need this to go to $10.
So the projections from what I read is they're saying that the true value of the company is around $22, $24. That's what they're saying the projections for the true value of the company
is how much?
So we'll see. $22 and $24, between $22 and $24 a share.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pick the. I'm gonna go ahead and pick this up.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. It's I did purchase it because the risk to reward is favorable, and it's something that I'm just going to leave alone and let it do what it does, and we'll look at it mid-year and see what happens.
Mid-year, I might be the only one on here mid-year. Be talking to myself. It goes where it goes Like, what happened to everybody? Like, Ryan gave him a stock pick. Oh, Mullen just crashed everything.
See what happened was
Man, I don't hear Joy anymore. Nobody's on here. Bennett need to disappeared. Jeremy gone. Everybody out of here. All right. Well,
Oh, I'm here,
yeah.
listening.
I'm still here too. My computer messing up, but I'm still here.
Oh man, that's moving. It's moved already. You talked to me. It's like it was at 19 cents. Now it's up. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pick it up. I am gonna pick it up. Yeah. I like it, but that's it, everybody, for tonight. I'm glad we was able to make something out of it, being that the market is on pause and that Smart Trader is kind of doing its own thing for half the night. But nonetheless, good session, Ryan. Thanks for the little pick here. Do the research on it, and Mullen.
Yeah, do your own research. We're not giving recommendations on that kind of stuff, right? It was just something fun to show the process is exactly the same. Educational purposes only.
Right. I don't want to rock that boat. But anyway, hey, we'll be back tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with the pre-New York sessions. And we'll see how that'll be a good one tomorrow to see how things happen overnight with some of these rate decisions and stuff. So everybody have a good night. Appreciate you hanging in with us. Take care now.
Thank you, Benny.
You're welcome.